Hello, my name is Ben Lovegrove, and in this video I'm going to explain why I think UFOs and crop circles are our wake-up calls to consciousness. From the outset, this idea is constrained within the limits that include my ability to understand and explain these concepts, and the limits imposed by the translation of my explanation through language into an idea that you interpret, but we'll give it a go. Let's begin with a quote from the 20th century occultist Dion Fortune from her book Principles of Esoteric Healing. What you contemplate, you touch. What you enter into in imagination, you make yourself one with. The idea that consciousness has a lot to do with the subject of UFOs is not new, but in my opinion it needs to be given more prominence, particularly when the media starts referring to the phenomena as a threat. Ufologists have reminded us that the recent revelations about UFOs that confirm their existence carry with them a tone suggesting that they are once again something to fear. Close encounters and other reported experiences vary from the blissful to the fearful, but I don't subscribe to the idea that we are about to be invaded and enslaved. So to begin, I need to spend a minute or two exploring the following analogy. Consider for a moment your computer device of choice, whether it's a cell phone, iPad, laptop or PC. Through that tool you send out your tweets, you add your comments and broadcast your thoughts, feelings, opinions and assertions to friends and strangers. You and millions of others collectively create the trending subjects, and you contribute to the creation of a virtual atmosphere in cyberspace. Although virtual, this atmosphere has very real effects on the emotions of those who get sucked into the whirlpools that they view and interact with on screens. Just as the mainstream media creates an atmosphere that consists mainly of gloom, gossip and greed, your comments and reactions might be the catalyst for a positive or negative reaction in others. How people react is their responsibility, but whether or not you post that comment or send that tweet is your own. Now, imagine that you yourself are the computerized device, and you're just one node on the infinite and omnipotent unified field of consciousness, of which the internet and the web are but a crude and very limited echo. All points in space and time are connected, and you are one point. All your deeds, words, and thoughts have an effect on this field of consciousness. Just as your tweets contribute to what may become a trending hashtag that spreads like wildfire, creating emotional reactions in others, so too do your own thoughts, words, and deeds have an effect on the unified field. The net result of this are waves of influence and atmospheres within the field that have an effect on others, influencing their behavior positively or negatively. This field has been known by many names, including the astral or emotional plane. In this terminology, the plane is a measure of frequency. Our emotions create a spectrum of consciousness within this plane, ranging from the heights of ecstasy at the higher levels to the pits of fear and despair at the lower. You can probably see how the age-old concepts of heaven, hell and purgatory have their roots in this idea. The devas and angels can be found at one frequency, the monsters and demons at another. Contact with any of these entities depends on where you set your personal dial. How you live your life, how you act, speak and think creates not only your own path into sunlight or fog, but also has an effect on the lives of others. So far out, but what's all this got to do with UFOs? Well, as some of you are already aware since you've done this yourself, the idea put forward by some of those who have made a study of the phenomena is that UFO sightings are often the result of deliberate changes in consciousness by humans. There are plenty of people now reporting that the CE5 protocols work, that stilling the mind and body, getting into a meditative alpha state, and mentally expressing a strong intent to make peaceful contact does indeed result in a response. Dr. Stephen Greer is well known in this regard. His team has made a film about it and produced an app with the intention of encouraging more and more people to make contact. Dr. Greer isn't everyone's cup of tea, and if you don't like him for any reason, you can simply adapt the method and use it freely in your own way. You don't have to pay any money to anyone or visit Mount Shasta. You can do this outside in your garden, on a beach, up a hill, or in a city park. Okay, let's assume that lots of people around the world succeed in making lights in the sky appear. It's exciting, but then what? How is this going to make the world a better place? How is it going to help to end human suffering, clean up the planet, and pave the way toward a bright future of free energy, good health, and happiness? Well, the same methods used to make contact can be used to make a positive difference in your local community. Again, this is not a new idea. Transcendental meditation and groups like Fountain International have promoted this concept and continue to do so. Like CE5, the idea itself is very simple. You simply choose a focal point in your local community and visualize boosts of divine healing light from the universal field descending into that focal point and spreading out like underground streams into the wider community. Consistent applications of this method by individuals and groups working on their own, physically close to one another or just using a specific time each week, have produced measurable results in the form of reduced crime and less antisocial behaviour. If this is too airy-fairy for you, then all I can say is it's a lot more healthy than some of the alternatives being used in the world today by people who say they want to make the world a better place, but who employ methods that include a lot of violence. Wellness and well-being are two 21st century reboots of the old idea that physical, mental, emotional and spiritual health creates a better society for everyone. Civil unrest, a euphemism for rioting, looting, burning down property and beating to a pulp anyone who gets in your way, creates bad atmospheres that linger for years after the properties have been rebuilt and the physical wounds have healed. The two extremes of politics, fascism and communism, have been responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of people in the most appalling ways. All that violence, combined with all the acts of cruelty, the rapes, tortures and murders, have created the emotionally charged lower astral. But we have the power to diminish this hellhole's hold over us and raise ourselves up. Don't stare into the abyss by watching clips of the latest acts of violence. Do you notice how you feel afterwards? It drags you down. And this is the key point. The intelligences behind the lights in the sky are encouraging us to wake up and grow up. They would like us to reach even just a basic level of consciousness so that we can take our rightful place alongside them in the galaxy as a new, albeit immature, member of the galactic community. We know in our hearts that we have to stop fighting wars, fighting over religion, fighting in the streets, and just stop fighting altogether. Our ultimate weapons, the nuclear warheads, are a direct threat not only to our precious planet, but also to other dimensions that share the same space. You might be thinking that this is all very well, but there are a lot of people who wish us harm, who are by nature cruel, and perhaps beyond any form of redemption or change for the better. You would of course be correct. We will still need our armed forces and intelligence services and our police forces for a long while yet. The crime and violence in the world is rising to the surface so that it can be dealt with. Even the much maligned media plays a part in this process by exposing what's hidden in the dark corners. Just as a change to a healthier diet can result in the body excreting some nasty toxins, so too can a change in humanity's consciousness result in the appearance of some hitherto hidden poisons. Don't be discouraged or depressed by what you see in the media. Turn it off and do something else. Focus on your own changes and trust in the process. Enjoy your meditations. Try CE5. Maintain that inner calm as much as you can in the face of the turmoil you see in the world. Act with integrity, and don't hesitate to indulge in random acts of kindness. You don't have to like everyone, I'm not sure that's even possible, and it's fine to disagree, but everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, even if you agree to differ and walk away from each other. UFOs and crop circles are calls to consciousness. We are being encouraged to wake up, to grow up, and to take responsibility for our actions and our thoughts. If we can manage to do this, then what awaits us is, to use Colonel Philip J. Corso's immortal phrase, a new world if you can take it. We have each been given a passport to this new world, but we can't get there by meekly following leaders who know less than we do. We have to take personal responsibility and to become the changes we want to see in the world. I will leave you with this quote from an old Hawkwind album first released in the 1970s. In 1971, the space voyaging rock band Hawkwind recorded a studio album called In Search of Space. This was the first LP record I bought as a young teenager a couple of years later. On this album is a track called Master of the Universe, the lyric to which is as follows. I am the center of the universe. The wind of time is blowing through me, and it's all moving relative to me. It's all a figment of my mind in a world that I've designed. I'm charged with cosmic energy. Has the world gone mad, or is it me? Keep watching the skies. Thanks for watching, but don't go yet as I have an important request. Please consider doing one or more of the following. If you'd like me to create a video for you to promote your products or services, go to redspan.com and use the contact form or just leave a comment below. Do the same if the sound of my voice is a fit for your voiceover needs. If you'd like to sponsor more videos like this, go to patreon.com/redspan. Your donation, however small, will help me to improve both the quality and the quantity of my videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with others. If you have any opinions, questions or feedback, please post a comment. Finally, subscribe to my channel and click the bell to be notified of new similar videos. Thank you for your kind attention.